Today we've got a real treat with this Sony in front of us. This model is the Sony KV-C27 and it's made in the late 1980s, possibly in 1990, so it's a real old one, and it does have a SCART in the back. It was a bit of a mystery at first to me, this set. I got this off a friend who's into CRT TVs like myself, and he reckons it's pretty uncommon, and he hadn't come across one before, and at that stage we weren't sure if this was a private import or not. It's not usual for Sonys to have SCARTs in the back, and we hadn't really seen any of these before, so turns out that it was officially released by Sony. That's my estimate, because a few more have turned up around the place. But there seems to be a period late in the 1980s and the early 1990s where Sony of Australia did release a few models with SCART sockets on the back, quite fortunately. Now, I don't have anything turned on yet to display the image on the TV. I just wanted to capture the actual framing, the outside of the TV, so you know what it looks like. If you've noticed the top left corner, there's something orange there. Believe it or not, with the age of this, 20 plus years, it still has the sticker. The original Sony, it's a Sony sticker on the top left corner of the tube. Despite it having more than one previous owner, the sticker is still there. It's in pretty good nick. It is a stereo TV, and I do think it has NTSC playback as well, so it's pretty sort of sophisticated, I guess, for the time. Anyhow, we'll go around the back and have a look at that. The back shell's off the TV. I'll show you something you won't see too often. Look at the place, the country of manufacture. Made in West Germany. Puts the date of this, 1988, or around that time. There's a model number, KV-C27. Now the shell's off the TV. We'll go over and have a look at the back of the TV. The first thing that strikes you is this big metal shielding here. Pretty thick metal too they're using on it. No wonder Sony TVs often weigh the heaviest. Looking at the chassis, this is the AE1 chassis, reputed to be pretty good. I think this is the first one in the line of the AE chassis. I've got TVs that are easily 10 years newer than this, and they still continue to use the AE family of chassis, AE5 and AE6. Very modularised chassis, boards all over the place. Check out this, the base of the TV and up the sidewalls there is actually chipboard timber. There's your one solitary SCART on the back, RGB, that's all you really need. And one other important thing to note on this chassis is here are some analog adjustments. You can see that horizontal center, horizontal size, vertical center. Now you look at that and you think there's a few of them. There's what, eight adjustments on this board alone. Go over here around the corner and there's another set again, another 7. So that's about 15 analog adjustments that can be made on the picture of the TV. Bloody heaps. Bloody heaps. Now I want to show you what it actually looks like. I'll just have to give you my opinion on that. These older TVs, well, anything that's 50 or 60 hertz is a bit hard for my camera to capture the image quality. It's probably best done in photos or with a higher quality video camera, but it's all I've got, so it's the best I can do. Here's Rayman on the Saturn. I've used this one a few times in my videos before, but I just want to say that this TV would rank definitely in the top 3 for old school RGB 50-60 hertz 15 kilohertz scanning rates. It's a ripper. The colour is some of the best I've ever seen. The image is just rock solid stable. Good focus in the corners. The geometry is a little bit out, but I can forgive it on that. This is not a real good stage to demonstrate anything with. I actually do have another one of these sets, but it is somewhat more deteriorated than this one. I was going to do a video showing both together and compare the differences from what age can do to a television, but it's got some issues, so it's not really worth doing that. There's not much more else I can say. It's, as far as its availability is concerned, it's not real common. You've got the Sony factor behind it, which, as I've said before, Sony is a popular brand, so there are going to be a few of these out in the wild, but given the age, they're going to start, they're going to be breaking down, thrown out, discarded. So there's not a real lot floating about. And even if you get one, I don't know if it's going to have much life left in it, but look, it's going to be cheap as chips. No one's going to be wanting an old thing like this except the odd gamer here and there. But I tell you what, it is a ripper. It is an absolute ripper of a TV. It's only 64 centimeters in size. I assumed it was 68 because it looks like 68, but the tube in fact says it's 64, and I've measured it. It is 64, but it's bloody heavy, as from what you've seen from when I was around the back a moment ago. It weighs a bloody lot for what it is. That's worthwhile. It's going to show a good image. So anyway, that's about the finish of this one. An old beauty for sure. See you later.